So welcome to Shadow of the Dragon Queen. We're playing our 5th episode here, guys. And I'll go into a little bit of a recap. And then if anybody wants to chime in with some things they recall, feel free. It was the Kingfisher Festival, right? It was like a great party in the town of Augrey. You guys had a great time. You caught an octopus. You caught Benabog, the line breaker, the largest fish and a Vogler legend during a fishing contest. You raced giant snails. There was a lot of alcohol. Vogler opened up their alcohol to the whole town, so everybody was intoxicated. And you went off on this parade to High Hill to reenact an ancient battle. And during this reenactment, the ironclad mercenaries, right? They attacked you, and they attacked primarily the militia of Vogler, killing most of them. They also attacked what looked like maybe Becklin, or perhaps the mayor, and Cudgel. Cudgel was also attacked by her own company. So during this battle, you managed to save most of the villagers. And when we left off last, you were standing at High Hill, surrounded in dead townsfolk. And those that are there are trying to sober up and figure out what just happened. So that's where we're going to pick up today. Do any of you have anything that they want to add or talk about from that session? All right.
Mainly just our awesome snail names.
Your snail names. Thank you, yeah. So we had, I remember Ted. Ted, of course. And Zoomer. Garlic Threat. I think we had Victor Victorious. And maybe they changed their name to Escargot. Is that right?
Yeah.
And Snailer Swift.
Snailer Swift. And then we also had Hammer's Meat Snail? Hammer Meats Snail? Is that what it was, Nick?
Yeah. Hammer meets nail.
Hammer.
But the S and the N were right.
Yes, it's perfect. And the race, I think the winner was actually Ted. I think Ted wound up winning the race. Oh yeah, there was also a rat. There was also the rat race through the hedge. Remember that little mini game that took us all of, I think, 120 seconds to complete?
Best 120 seconds.
Yeah.
It was only 45 seconds.
It's
I'm
about
sure.
45 seconds. You're probably right.
I wanted to mention that I had the RP I did in the room where my echo showed up.
Yeah.
Shadow.
Yeah. So why don't you start there? You all now they are returning the dead and the injured to Vogler. They tossed remember there was a huge keg that was on that was a wagon, basically. It had 4 wheels, this huge keg. That keg has been pushed off, and they have laid the dead on that cart. But there are still more dead here, and so people are dragging and carrying and trying to get the dead back to Vogler. If you guys recall, it's a mile hike back to Vogler. So as this is going on, what are you guys doing?
Me and my shadow, I'd like to look around the battlefield, and I'd like to look for a rapier to see if anyone had one.
Unbelievable. She's looting.
All right. What about Morgan? What are you up to?
Morgan is just kind of looking around as everything's coming to a close and just seeing I'm walking back towards the town and just... How did this happen? Just... Was it because she was gone with us? Or has this been a long time coming? And he's just kind of... almost in shock of just the moment. Just because he's a sheltered little kid. And this is the first real antagonistic thing outside of the dragons.
For how many of you, this is the first time you've seen a dead body? Or many dead bodies? I think Hawk, Jarlbrawn, definitely no. However...
Hawk's eating a protein bar.
Oh, Jesus. He's rolling another cigarette because he put his out last time, I think, just in order to fight.
He did the thing where he licks his finger and just pinches it and sticks it behind his ear.
Oh, that's great. What is Morgan doing?
These are expensive, man.
Morgan's trying to have a conversation. He's trying to figure out what happened, right? What about Giffel? Giffel, what are you up to?
Giffel saw corpses in the past, but never in that amount. So what he's trying to do is find out who betrayed who and whatever happened. So he'd be looking through the corpses of the ironclad mercenaries, trying to find somebody who's got better armor, signs that he would be a leader, and I'm gonna rifle through their pockets trying to find evidence.
So they're on a cart currently moving toward Vogler. So you catch up to the cart and you start rifling through their dead body. Thank you. Jarlbrawn, what are you doing?
You kind of cut out on the name there, Ziff.
Jarlbrawn.
Oh, me.
You.
Well, directly after assuring Morgan that we would in fact get to the end of it, and seeing that Giffel is trying to find some leaders, I know who the leader is. And I will stomp very directly towards the leader of this band of turncoat mercenaries.
Cudgel?
Cudgel.
Yeah, Cudgel is at the front of the line heading back to Vogler. So you're going to have to run to catch up with him.
I'm going to run directly there.
Okay.
I'm going to follow Jarlbrawn.
All right, Hawk, thank you. You just you're eating the protein bar. You don't even get to finish it. Damn it, I got to follow this dwarf again. Because you lost...
Yeah, I got you, boss.
You lost Jarlbrawn at the festival, right? Remember? Like you guys
that was
were
my day off.
You guys... Yeah, it was Hawk, I think, that remembered. So as this is happening, I'm going to describe your environment. It is getting dark. The sun has set. There's just a small amount of light in the sky. And you can hear the nighttime creatures of the forest beginning to come back after this combat, this noise, the death. And you hear wolves in the distance. There's a buzzard already hovering in the sky. And there are easily 15 dead bodies still on the battlefield who no one has gone to get. And right now, we're going to have Blackrose roll an investigation check, please.
Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to do that at an advantage.
You rolled a 13. Yeah. You find a scimitar. You find a rapier. You find many spears. There are shields everywhere. There are longswords. There are a lot of weapons on the battlefield here. The people of Vogler did not grab weapons. They grabbed the dead. And they're panicking and like rushing out of the area. But you're able to find whatever you can carry, Blackrose.
All right, well, I'm going to take one of the scimitars and the rapier.
Okay.
And since I'm here on the battlefield and there are still bodies here, I will try and guard it from whatever seems to be coming in, because these bodies were just fallen innocent. They need to be protected.
Yeah. As you are doing this, Darrett walks next to you, and he's holding his greatsword in his hands, and he exhales heavily. He's like, "Are you all right? Are you okay?"
Yeah. I feel a little weak, but I'm okay.
I did a run around the base of the hill to see if there were any more mercenaries, if they were running or what happened, and it looked like we're okay. But everybody's going to Vogler. Are you grabbing weapons to arm the townsfolk?
Well, I was just looking.
That's
for
a great
some
idea. And he runs over. He doesn't even listen to your answer. He just like runs away from you, and he starts grabbing spears and swords, and he's carrying everything that he possibly can, and he starts handing them to villagers as they leave.
Oh, well, I will puff out my chest as if I just thought of this awesome idea.
Okay. All right.
Man, that Derek's a good kid.
So let's go then to Morgan, who is trying to have a conversation. As Darrett is grabbing weapons and whatnot, he looks at you and he says, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, sorry, and he'll kind of shake his head. Kind of stuck in my own head.
You did some crazy magic. I saw something. Like shooting stuff out of your hands?
Yeah, hands, mouth, just anywhere. It's all up here in the imagination.
Are you an initiate of the high sorcery?
Yeah, it's
okay. Just so you know, if you're gonna throw magic around, just be aware there are people who like to write letters and complain about people practicing magic that they suspect are not part of the high sorcery, and I just wouldn't want you to, get on a wanted list or anything like that. Okay.
No, appreciate it. I just...
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
He's still almost shell shock from the situation.
Hey, can you carry some of these? And he tries to hand you a bunch of spears.
Yeah, sure, and he'll awkwardly grab them.
Are you guys coming back to Vogler?
Almost carrying.
You guys are coming back to Vogler, right? I know
right?
I know you were going somewhere else. I think you talked about Calaman, but would you mind staying the night at least? And can you talk to us? I think the mayor she went into town with Cudgel, and I heard her say that she wanted me to tell Becklin to be at a war meeting, a war council. Do you know
low whistle?
Do you know anything about that kind of stuff? Because I don't.
I do not.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
But I think we're staying here.
Okay. All right. And he continues going on and grabbing stuff. You guys just basically take it from here. Tell me what you would like to do. Jarlbrawn and Hawk were running, I think, to try to get to the front of the line.
Yes.
You said it was dark? Or getting dark?
Yeah. Imagine the sun went down 15 minutes ago. So there's still light, right? It's like sunset, but there are really no clouds. It's a very clear night.
I take out the wand that I won, and I cast Dancing Lights.
And just they start floating out in front of. Well, actually, you can control them, right?
Yeah, they just kind of circle around us slowly.
Can you make it into a humanoid shape too? Yes, you can combine the four lights into a vaguely humanoid shape, if you wanted to. But so you are illuminating the area, which I'm not even going to make you guys check to see if you find them. You do, absolutely. At the very front of the line, you see the mayor and Cudgel.
My next move depends very greatly on Nick's answer to this question.
Yo.
What color are the lights?
Oh, what color do you need, boss?
I am not...
Are we going in hot? Are we going in hot? What kind of mood do you want to set?
Well, I was hoping that you might decide to sway me down, but if you're willing, I'm going in hot.
Okay, so you're real mad at. I guess yeah. So our conversation on the way. I'm like, yeah, they're just right up there, Jarl. You think she did this on purpose? You think she's in on this?
Sprinting at
Well,
cover.
I can run and talk.
I rage, and I am going to run full tilt and just like body slam her about as far as I can get her.
Cool. So they're yellow. They're flashing yellow warning lights.
All right.
I did my best, Cudgel.
21.
So, Cudgel, you run to the front and absolutely tackle and overwhelm.
I do yell cudgel prior to shoulder slamming.
How prior? How far? Are you in?
Bam.
You're in the air, basically. Like, okay, yeah. I'm not going to give her the chance to react to that. Your athletics check is too much, and she was in a very serious conversation with the mayor when you tackled her, so her attention was not on her flank. So as you tackle her and you kind of crash to the ground, the mayor just stops dead in her tracks. And everybody else around her does too, and the line just starts to kind of like back up and stop. And Cudgel, a moment later, only as drunk as a dwarf gets. Jarlbrawn, maybe you have some insight about this. How drunk can a dwarf get? Well, you're half dwarf, right?
Dwarves get real drunk. What class is she?
None.
Sorry, I won't.
Like
I won't
school
make that.
summer.
I won't.
No
I won't
class.
make answer that.
I don't
if
know.
She's a barbarian. She'll be able to hold it well.
Make an insight check.
17.
You take her as a fighter. You don't think
High
that she can tap into the adrenaline the way that you do.
That's all right. High constitution though. She'll be able to hold it well. Dwarves get pretty raging drunk, but they also burn it off okay. So.
All right. Well, she is currently unable to, but only just unable to, break from your grasp. And she exhales heavily, and you can feel immediately after she struggles against you, she looks to see who you are, and then she stops struggling.
I take a couple steps forward and slap her hard across the face.
Oh!
The mayor looks at you, Hawk, as you walk over.
Hey, Mrs. Mayor. I think they need to work something out.
Oh, okay, sure. I want to thank you, but we have to get these people back to the town immediately.
Oh yeah, well, if you guys want to keep going, I can keep the lights on this situation.
I'll let them work it out. I think we all need to hear this. And Cudgel, who takes the slap, looks at you, Jarlbrawn. Go ahead and you did 5 points of damage. All right, good to know.
Yep.
You feel like Cudgel almost appreciates the smack, and not in a sassy sort of way. And she turns her face and looks at you and holds eye contact. And she says, "You have my attention? Would you like to talk now?"
I'll grab her by just the lapels, the front of her armor or whatever she's wearing. And
She doesn't
just
resist.
Hold her real close. What the hell happened back there?
Well, I would like to question our prisoner. I believe an interrogation might enlighten me, because from what it looked like, Dragonlance started their own financial endeavors and hired half of my mercenary group. To what end? I'm waiting to find out. And as you turn toward where she looks, about 3 people back from where she and the mayor are and where Hawk now stands, there is one of the surviving militia members. And he has a member of the ironclad mercenaries with a cloth over his head, and he's restrained, his hands behind his back, and he's been disarmed. But he's still wearing the armor he was during the battle. And you can see that their right arm is drenched in blood. This mercenary took a bad hit to the shoulder, their right shoulder. And you don't think that they would fight well even if they weren't restrained. This is who Cudgel looks toward. And the mayor, seeing this, also directs your attention, Hawk, to the prisoner.
I slowly set Cudgel back onto the flats of her feet, because I would have accidentally lifted her a little bit if I could. I brush off her shoulders, and I look directly at her and just say, in a very hoarse voice at this point, "Get your camp in order." And I set her back, let go of her, and take a couple steps back before I turn and begin to walk away.
As she swings, you see it coming. Do you let her hit you?
Oh, not a chance, no.
So you can tell as she swings to miss you just before you turn away from her. It was an open-handed swing, similar to how you had greeted her. And as you walk away, you can hear her say, "Just like a fucking dwarf."
I lean towards the mayor. Oh yeah, now she shouldn't have said that. That was a mistake.
There's
No,
a
wait,
grim
there was a
smile
mistake.
from that. Yeah, I give out a little grim smile, and I don't let her see it. I have my head turned, but
You hear
I'm
wolves.
happy about that.
You hear wolves
Yeah.
in the distance. They are back toward High Hill. And as you guys turn and look, you are not with the rest of your party. They are out of sight. You're easily, 200 or 300 feet away from them at this point.
Looks like the night hasn't ended.
Giffel, what are you doing?
Well,
Oh.
I was with the corpse cart, and he's mumbling to himself about probably the evidence would be in camp, but wouldn't be safe to go there now. So this is the best I got. And he starts rifling, trying to look for any kind of proof, messages inside there. He's not taking any gold from their purse if they've got purses.
Yeah, make an
Just
investigation
looking
check.
for evidence. Yep. Investigation. 19.
This cart is easily twice as tall as you, as high. And the wagon wheels themselves are also very high. And so in order for you to properly investigate this cart of dead bodies, you actually have to hop up onto it while it's moving.
All right, let's do that.
Do you want people to see you, or are you trying to do this stealthily?
I guess for now I would do so stealthily.
All right, make a stealth check.
For people to see me in the meat cart.
Yeah, okay. 14. Surprisingly enough, people are pretty upset, and they're either looking down and crying or looking forward so they don't trip over rocks. This road out to High Hill is not well worn. This is a once-a-year trip that these villagers take. High Hill is not a remarkable place. It's a memorable place, but not one that townsfolk come and go to regularly. So you're kind of following what was probably an old road, but it is overgrown and grassy. The smell of blood fills your lungs, Giffel.
Yeah, this is gonna be messy.
Will you describe more specifically what are you really looking for?
Well, the senior members of the traitorous mercenaries. Maybe one of them would have a correspondence or a paper with orders on them, or just because he didn't hear what Cudgel said about Banamore, or I don't remember the name, but something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to find evidence.
Okay. Well, the closest thing you saw to a leader was that half ogre, right? That large beast of a man.
Okay.
Yes.
So they were all grunts. There was no like sergeant or anybody giving orders.
He seemed to be the one who
okay.
was giving orders, but he went down quickly, and that individual is not here. But the best equipped, the one that had the best armor of the mercenaries, is on this cart. But it's mostly the town militia that are dead. And you find exactly 25 gold in their purse.
I'm gonna take the purse and I will later bring it to the mayor. It's gonna be a relief found.
Back at High Hill, Blackrose and Morgan, you and Darrett are the last ones leaving, but there are still, 12 dead bodies out here. And you hear wolves now right on the edge of the woods.
I guess I'm gonna gather the bodies up close enough, and then I'm gonna take out my scimitar and my short sword, and I'm gonna try and protect them.
They're scattered all around High Hill. You can probably get to 2 of them before you're going to lose light. Morgan, what are you doing?
Morgan has been loading himself up with weapons.
Yes.
And is just almost like carrying firewood. And is just trying to be as helpful. He's not as worried about the dead, more focused on preparing the town for anything that may be coming.
Darrett stands between you and Blackrose. And he goes, guys, it's getting dark. There are wolves, and everyone's gone. We're the last ones here. I can't see in the dark. Human eyes. I'm gonna go, guys. We need to go. What are you...
I'm there with Darrett. Let's go.
Blackrose, what are you doing?
Okay. I guess I can go with you guys. I didn't want to see the bodies get eaten, but
If you stay here, if you stay here, I think that's exactly what you're gonna see. And his eyes,
okay.
Blackrose, are you? How is Blackrose handling all of these dead? Because one of your things that you're good at is being a battlefield medic, right? A triage, on the battlefield. It's one of the things you're known for. So how does this feel to have all of these?
It feels a little sad and somber. I don't want to leave the dead to get eaten. But they want to move on, so I guess we can go. I will use my druidcraft.
Yes.
And I will before I leave, I will place a few flowers on the closest bodies before we leave.
All right.
You guys
you spot
go up front. I'll take the back.
You spot Kaligari. She is near the end of the parade, but she has a body over her shoulder. It's a villager who appears to be still alive but unable to walk. They're badly injured, and she is currently in the procession heading into town, but she looks like she is encumbered right now. So you know where everyone is. You saw Hawk and Jarlbrawn run off, and Giffel hopped in the cart, nearly undetected. and the two of you and Darrett now take to the end of this parade. This sad walk home. It does feel a bit like a march because there is a sense of urgency with everyone. At the front of the line, let's go back to Jarlbrawn and Hawk. As the procession urges forward, what do you guys do?
Yeah, so, I mean, good form on that tackle there, Jarl. Yeah, you really got her.
Bell's
You're muted, Bell.
No,
Just so you're muted, man.
Either that or he's really mad at me.
It's just...
Sorry.
You're so stoic.
I
God, you're so eerily stoic.
I'm seething, and then he responded perfectly.
Yeah.
And so I will respond. How do you do this? How do you remain so calm?
Man. Jarl, and you gotta promise not to take this the wrong way, because it's entirely possible for you to. But if I got mad every time someone in charge didn't think ahead and made a bonehead decision, I'd just be mad all of the time.
No, I understand perfectly. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
But a bad decision, is that what this is?
Oh, well, I mean, at least. Right? Best case scenario, it was a terrible decision, and maybe these were just a band of psycho mercenaries that came out of nowhere. And maybe there's no, like, deeper plot to overthrow the local government. But, I mean, we've been around the block a couple times, man. Something's definitely up.
We invited them into our home.
Mm. Yeah.
How does this happen?
Well, I plan on getting a couple minutes alone with the poor schmuck that got himself captured. Rookie move. And, I can be, and crack my knuckles. I can be pretty persuasive when it comes time to. And opens up another protein or piece of jerky.
I would very much appreciate if you would let me know what happens with that, but I feel that I should not be present.
Yeah, no, I mean, good cop, bad cop is one approach. Good cop currently murdering you cop. Less effective.
There's answering questions, and then there's unable to answer questions.
Yeah. Yeah, they really need their faces to be able to talk back at you.
That's what I hear.
So I always go for the knees.
No one ever talks to me. Maybe that's why.
Hey, I will always talk to you from outside of arm's reach. And this is when you notice that Hawk has never been closer than 7 feet.
I appreciate your experience. You are beyond even your short years.
Ah, thanks.
When we get back to the town,
Mm-hmm.
what are we going to tell their families?
I mean, that they died protecting us, right? Take the nap. Everybody in the cart's a hero. But we got all of the bad guys, so they don't need to worry about it, is what we tell them.
Do you suppose the mayor has the slightest experience with this?
I mean, she seems like a pretty smart lady. She's really easy to talk to. She listened to my entire story out on the wharf, which I am aware is impressive. That was a long story, and not a lot happens in it.
No, you are.
So she seems wise.
You're not wrong. Perhaps she is the right person to address this.
And I feel like if she isn't, it's going to be really apparent really quickly.
Even if she isn't, she's their mayor. She's all they have.
Very
I
true.
feel better.
Ah,
Fuck, thank you.
hey, no problem. I'm always happy to talk these things out and help you stay calm until it is strategically advantageous for me personally for you to be really mad, in which case you feel your feelings. You go Tiger Woods, man. But on the in-between those times, I'm here for you.
I prefer bear in the woods, but tiger works as well.
Let's move our camera eye to the back of the parade, where Morgan, Darrett, and Blackrose have caught up with the cart of the dead. And a couple of people have made a makeshift sled that they have a couple of dead bodies on. And you see Giffel.
Cart of the Dead was a terrible, horrible horror movie.
Which one?
The Cart of the Dead, terrible movie. Moves so slow.
No face.
And you catch up with Giffel as they hop down off of the cart.
Yeah. Washing their hands with a towel because it was fucking messy in that cart.
What are you doing up there?
Bring
Clang,
your-
clang, 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 clang.
Trying to find evidence as to who is behind this. I could only find some gold to create a relief fund, I guess. As he plans the purse of 25 gold pieces is found. That's all I found.
Hmm.
Really was not worth the trip.
How are you doing? You doing okay? Clang, clang, clang.
I'm keeping an eye out, and you see like he's walking backwards, and he's got his bow, and he's trying to scout behind us, like the line, the horizon. I guess the wolves, they're busy eating right now.
Hopefully we're too big of a target for them to come after. But the way our luck's been going.
Because
Not
I'm
too
never too big for a wolf, and he like shows himself a candor.
Hopefully we're able to get some answers when we get back. I know. Unsurprisingly, this is a shock to everyone. Part of me wonders if my trials are to blame. Partly because she came out escorting us. If she had been here, would this have happened?
Myself, I want. Give me one of those. 2 of those, I'm gonna help you, because you seem to struggle.
These things are like twice as tall as you. I got it. But
That's why
thank you.
he has one in each hand. That's how he's gonna carry it. And then he says, I wonder myself if it's linked with the draconians present in the region. It would be a weird coincidence if it did not.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Hopefully our friend we brought wants to talk.
Oh, right, the prisoner. Forgot about him.
Darrett catches up with Blackrose and the rest of you.
Blackrose is trying to hang back so she can see if any wolves or anything is following.
Yeah, Darrett's back
and-
there too, just because he's carrying so many weapons. He's actually having a hard time keeping up. So as he rushes past you, his eyes are now—they've gone from being wide-eyed to almost half closed as he's walking, and you can see that his eyes are downcast, but he's not looking for where he's walking. He's observing the pools of blood that now mark this path that you are following. The footsteps of Vogler have their footprints in this blood, and he swallows hard as he walks past you. And he says, Becklin taught me about swordplay and defense and offense and chivalry and doing the right thing, but nothing really got me ready for this.
I know this is a very bad day, and it's not over.
Was it a bad day? The whole day was wonderful. And then this seems an exact opposite of that. Makes me feel
Well,
like I'm not safe. And what are we're going back to Vogler? Why are our entire militia is gone.
I know.
You guys have that
It's,
dragon creature, you said? That dragon creature? You guys think there are more of them out here? And our militia is gone.
I know today's been quite a blow. But you gotta hold on just for a little bit longer. You can collapse later, but for now, we have to survive and get to town, and then we'll figure everything out.
He nods, takes a deep breath, and he runs forward, and he catches up with a cart that's nearby where what did we say, the cart of the dead? Is that that's the new movie title? All right, TM. We got the rights on that, guys.
I'm not paying no wagon.
So it's Froswin's merchant cart. She is also returning. She had taken her cart out because she had all kinds of fun toys for kids to play with. And as she's riding back on her pony drawn carriage, you can hear the jingles of toys and arts and crafts. But as he runs up to it, this draws your attention also, Giffel, Morgan. This is all in the same spot now. And as he runs over, he says, Froswin, can I put some of these weapons into the back of your cart? She says, if you find any room. And that's when you look and you can see that her cart is not just filled with toys, it's filled with dead militia. Giffel, the tone of her voice is the saddest you have ever heard a Kender.
I'm gonna go to her, gonna ask her how she's holding up.
I'm glad that you're alive. Did you get hurt? Are you okay?
I'm good, this is not my blood. I was investigating the corpses, trying to find evidences.
Did you find any?
That? Nah, not yet, but I won't quit when I'm on an investigation. We'll get to the bottom of this.
All right.
We'll stick together. We'll be there for each other, all of us. We all need each other, so hang in there.
As you arrive...
So less jovial than he is usually.
Yeah.
More somber.
Absolutely. As you arrive at the gates of Vogler, you're reminded, Jarlbrawn, of the state of this town's defensive abilities as you go through the river gate, or stop at the river gate, I should say. It is, the doors are pushed open, and they've been pushed open for so long that erosion and dirt have actually covered up the bases of these gates. They cannot easily be closed. Mayor Raven, Cudgel, and Becklin, the three of them come up to you, Jarlbrawn and Hawk. And Becklin says, we are going to be meeting at the Brass Crab. Please gather the rest of your party and meet us there as soon as you can, please. We have a lot to discuss this night.
Yeah.
The bell is having sound issues. 2 minutes.
You guys are watching Jarlbrawn and Hawk, the parade of people go through back into Vogler. And near the end is when you see Morgan, Giffel, Blackrose, Darrett. You guys are now reunited at the river gate. All right, Belle, thanks. Let us know you got sound issues going on. Thanks for letting us know. Hope you work it out. Everybody else, you are reunited at the river gate. What would you like to do?
Hey, guys.
Morgan. Oh, do you know where I should put these? Just been holding weapons. Should I take it to the barracks?
I mean, I'd say there's a pile there, just inside the gate. Oh my God! Look how cute are you? That spear makes it look like you're going pole vaulting. Fantastic. Yeah.
Is it just me? Did I hear crickets? I think I heard crickets after that statement. Yep, I hear crickets. I hear crickets.
Background.
I smiled.
Awesome. Great radio, guys.
Silently. Morgan will go and just kind of drop the weapons by the gate. I'll tell someone they're there. How things go up here?
Oh, good. Jarlbrawn kicked the shit out of that lady. Cudgel. Yep.
It was earned.
It was impressive. But the mayor, she'll be fine. The mayor's gonna let us talk to the prisoner, so that's gonna be real handy. And I think that's the next part of our plan. Figure out who sent them. I've always wanted to do this. I'll be like, who sent you? And then I'll throw my coffee cup across the room. It's going to be amazing.
I'm going to stay with the mayor as much as possible, but I won't...
You can be on the other side of the one-way glass.
I'll be there for it.
Welcome back, Belle. Say that again?
Well, I'll be staying by the mayor as much as possible over the next few hours, but I won't be taking part in the interrogation.
All right. Well, the mayor has gone ahead of you guys to the Brass Crab. Is that where you're headed?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Once you arrive at the Brass Crab, you see Mayor Raven, Cudgel, Becklin, Darrett, and Yalme have all rearranged what was going to be an epic party at the Brass Crab, where the festival finale was supposed to take place. You still see decorations. And Yalme had prepared for celebration with food. She's currently trying to make the building secure. She is checking some of the outside storm windows and making sure that they close securely. And you see, sitting in a chair, tied up, a mercenary and at the moment it's just a staring contest. Cudgel is fuming. And you can see noticeably that Becklin's right leg is between Cudgel and this prisoner. What would you guys like to do as you enter the Brass Crab?
I'll go up to the bar and very discreetly ask, are the drinks still on the house?
Who do you say that to?
Whoever's closest to where the drinks are.
Darrett looks at you and he says, I don't work here. I don't know.
God damn it, Darrett. Okay. I
Yeah.
go and I grab 2 drinks, and I'll figure the rest out later regarding that.
I'd like you to make some sort of check. This is a bartending check. I'd like you to roll for bartending. I'll let you choose a skill, Hawk. What do you think?
Absolutely, it's got to be. That feels performance.
Make a performance check. All right. All right. You find a bottle of vermouth.
God damn it!
But you could have sworn it was whiskey. Could have sworn it was whiskey, and you pour it like it was whiskey. But as soon as you do, you get a sniff of that sweet wine, and you know this is vermouth. Anyways,
Perfect.
that's what
Excellent.
Hawk.
I pass it. I pass one of them to Darrett. And like, here you go, fucker. Take this. I don't know why this is your fault, but I'm positive it is. And then I'm gonna go over to Cudgel and the prisoner and sit down and put the vermouth down in front of the prisoner. I feel like my whole thing with this kind of fell apart, but it's making me sick, so you've got to smell it.
Before you interrogate Giffel, wanted to ask a few questions to Cudgel. While you were getting your fucking disgusting drink.
Sure. What do you say?
So yeah, he goes to Cudgel and he's like, may I talk to you just for a minute? I want to know more about the prisoner. Do you know him?
Yeah, I want to know something from this prisoner as well. And as she says that, she grinds her teeth, and you hear her cracking her knuckles. And Becklin just looks over her shoulder, just paying attention.
Was he a new recruit? You knew nothing about him?
She says, no, I know Svint Sunderlit. I trained him myself. And she's shooting eye daggers at this guy, who has just now been identified to all of you as Svint. Can you all see his name? I think you can. Yeah?
Yes.
I don't see it out there. Never mind. I'm still at the gate.
You are all now at the Brass Crap. So yeah, if you want to put your tokens on the map, you can. And yeah, you guys just tell me what you want to do. Or
So
say, or
you've known
whatever.
him for years, and he just betrayed you like that.
Well, we are a mercenary company first and foremost, Giffel. However, I'm a little surprised that any of them could get enough coin to throw around for that kind of sway. I want to know who's been paying him. Want to know where the gold came from. I want to know how high up this goes. Surely Gagornis did not do this himself. That half-ogre was all brawn and no brain.
I see. Well, I see Haka. She's coming, so let's interrogate the prisoner now.
Oh, I'd love to, but it involves injuring them, and I'm told I'm not supposed to. And she says that loud enough for Becklin to hear.
Well, we do want them able to talk, and then Giffel just shrugs. And I guess justice will be made.
Morgan kind of steps behind the group more as like a show of solidarity, and has the his light cantrip kind of going on his hand, and the typical like fiery illusion, just kind of like drumming his fingers covered in fire, just on whatever surface, just staring Spilt down.
Becklin says to the mayor, if you'd like to have a private conversation with your local heroes. And as she says this, she looks at each of you. And you get a look of recognition in her eyes as a token of deep respect. You all feel a little bit taller as Becklin acknowledges each of you with her eyes and says local heroes. She says, I will stay here and keep an eye on Svilt. Raven turns to you and says, Can we talk in private, please? With Cudgel, or without, if you like.
Sure.
Very well.
That
Cudgel.
better, and I look at the prisoner. That better be empty by the time I get back.
He is bound. His hands are tied behind this chair. His legs are tied to it. There's no way he can even reach it, even if he wanted to.
Get him a straw.
So the mayor leads you into the pantry, which is a long walk-in sort of closet behind the bar, and waits for each of you. There is a door that can be closed for privacy. Do you all go in with the mayor and Cudgel into this small room?
Morgan will.
Yep.
Yes.
I'll go in last and close the door and kind of lean up against it, kind of with my leaning back with my foot up on it, so that no one can get in.
Okay.
I would have taken a small breather outside and then posted up in front of the crab just to make sure that they're not disturbed.
So you are not going into the room with them?
No, I had to leave as soon as I saw Spunt.
Okay, got it.
As soon as he saw who?
Spunt? Did you say Spunt?
Yes, I did.
Oh man, it is an unfortunate moniker, isn't it? This guy. Whew. That is
He's all spent up.
Yeah. So, the mayor turns to you and she says, I've instructed the trusted villagers to tend to the wounded, recover the bodies of all that were murdered at High Hill, but I don't want anyone going out after dark back up to High Hill, unless they're, go in a group. I want to understand why the Ironclad Regiment attacked. Clearly Cudgel was betrayed. And she looks at Cudgel, who you can all tell has moved from the immediate solemnness straight into anger. And she is breathing heavily and is very frustrated in the corner of this room. Perhaps this captive mercenary might have some answers. We need to know whether other dangerous mercenaries are out there. Do any of you have a way to heal people? Because we have some injured. We have a lot of injured.
I got a little training in battlefield mending.
What do you need? Can we utilize we can utilize my home, the mayor says, and I have a large front room that we can set up with some tables for people as makeshift places for
some
people.
Healing.
Okay.
Healing kits. If anyone's really, really bad, if there's some herbs, I might be able to make some healing potions.
Thanks for the meta there, Belle, by the way. 8 hours of sleep and they'll be right as rain. I love it. Thank you.
I mean, I know where we are.
So
I'll do my best.
There's a lot of fishing line is honestly what we use for sewing. So I know I can get that for you. But a healer's kit, most people, tend to their own wounds. We don't really have a town doctor. I think if it was anything serious, we'd head over to Cowman. And as she says that, she looks out to the south, across the river. And something seems to go over her mind. And that's when Cudgel says, I have only one concern. That's to discover the fate of the rest of my troops. I will be heading back to my camp once this mercenary has been interrogated.
I was the last one to leave, and there were a bunch of bodies still left, and the wolves and maybe some carrion are closing in. So when you go back, it will not be a pretty sight.
I'm not going back to
tried
High Hill.
Stayed.
I am not going back to High Hill.
Oh.
No.
Oh, okay.
My mercenary
was
camp
worried.
is farther north. There's a clearing in the forest a bit north of High Hill. These were not all of my mercenary group that attacked. No. I estimated their numbers to be about half of my troop. I am returning this evening.
You, just keep an eye out.
Thank you for the
All kinds of
notice.
wolves on the road.
You know, I would also be interested in seeing the rest of the mercenaries and maybe checking those dead ones, the traders' belongings. Maybe there's evidence to be found there.
If the wolves don't eat it.
Aye, and if they've been,
About the hill.
if they have been truly bought, I expect that it'd be some money on all of them. That's what I would expect. More than they've been paid, I would also expect.
How much were they paid?
Well, by me, they had 10 gold for our
Perfect.
stay
No,
here
that was what
in
we knew, 'cause
Welbourne.
that's, well, yeah, you understand how we needed to know that, to know if they had more than that when we look into it, right?
Indeed, Hawk. And now you'd know what your weekly wages would be if you wanted to join the mercenaries.
Wow. You don't say.
Room and board.
At an entry level position, really? Thank you. That's an honor. I will get back to you on that.
Right. Well, it might not be a matter of
Is there a
getting paid.
signing bonus?
It might not be a matter of getting paid. It might be a matter of survival. We'll see.
Right.
The mayor says, are any of you experienced in conducting interrogations? I wouldn't oppose the use of coercive magic, but please don't harm the captive.
Sure.
I
I'm
don't.
good
Yes.
at seeing when people lie.
I mean, step one is don't leave them alone in the room for the 10 minutes alone, unsupervised. But, here we are in this tiny room.
I don't believe that they are unsupervised.
No, there's one person. That's great.
So you recall as you walked out, Becklin, Darrett,
Mhm.
both still in the room with her. So
Cool.
upon that,
All right.
Cudgel pushes
Because
past.
when they're not there when we get back, I'm just going to say.
Cudgel pushes past and opens the door. All right, let the interrogation begin then.
Before we start, he's talking to the mayor. He gives her a purse. Maybe this can be put to good use for the villagers.
What is
He
it?
gives her the 25 gold pieces that he found on the cart. I found
Gold?
this on one of the traders. Maybe it can help you instead of being lost.
Yeah. You can pay someone for 2.5 weeks.
I'm giving this to the mayor, so.
She nods and walks towards Svilt, with the bag out where people can see it. And as she stands still next to Becklin, she's holding it at arm's length at her side and tapping it against her hip, rhythmically. So you all hear this ching, ching, ching of gold. Cudgel motions for you to begin the interrogation. Jarlbrawn, where are you?
At this point, I have gotten a little bit bored and curious despite myself. So if there's a window into the main room, I would be just pressing my bulbous, a little bit reddened nose up against the window, trying to peer in.
Yalme has
I'm
closed
trying
all
very
of the
hard not to involve myself.
Yalme has closed all of the storm windows.
Shoot.
If you want to get back inside, you have to go through a closed door.
I know that would be a very bad idea for me. I'm going to go start pacing for about a minute, and then I just get irritated
Peking
bored.
dwarf is that, or is it Peking? Is that Peking dwarf?
No, peeking.
I
You
know,
know, like
I
a
know.
peeking tom.
Oh,
a
I
peeking
read
dwarf.
it. I read it. I just really like the idea of Peking dwarf.
Peking
'Cause
Tom.
it's crispy.
And then I would go up to toward what's their bases, Blackrose estate, because I have a strange obsession with them right now.
Noted.
fully leave. Awesome.
Yep.
Face covered in blood.
You don't have to spend much time on me. I'm not
death.
going to get up to any trouble unless you decide something weird is happening at the estate. I'm just going to sit there and seethe.
No problem. Takes him a bit to get over there, so you guys are in a room and it's quiet.
All right. Hawk approaches Mr. Sunderlit, does the Riker sit down where I kind of kick my leg over a chair. All right. What's your name?
Svelte Sunderlit.
All right, Snoot. Let me. I just got a couple questions for you, real quick. Savant, how long have you been? How long have you been a mercenary? How long have you been in the game, my guy?
He looks at Cudgel, looks back at you.
Don't look at her. Look at me. You know the answer. She knows the answer.
3 years.
Awesome. And have you met the mayor before? Had the privilege of meeting our wonderful mayor?
No. He says,
Ah,
looking
it's too bad.
looking at Mayor Raven, he says.
This is too bad. She's really, really nice. And where's if you had to guess where the other half of Cudgel's of your crew were, where would you reckon that is?
He looks at Cudgel and then looks back at you and doesn't answer. And with that silence, Cudgel walks forward and punches him in the jaw.
The jaw.
Oh, hey, no. See, and I like make a big show of pushing Cudgel back. Now, see, Silt, that's the kind of thing that happens when you take too long to answer a question. Cudgel, don't. We would hate to see this happen over and over again. Goodness. Now, Sven, the answer to the question I just asked. And if you look at Cudgel, you know what you're gonna see. It's a fist coming at you.
Please make a persuasion or intimidation check. It's up to you.
I would love to. And I'm going to use commanding presence.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm going to use a superiority die to add to that. So here's the old I'm trying very hard to be intimidating. So that's a 14, and I'm gonna stack a maneuver on that. So that's a 19, and you know what? I'm really feeling it. I'm gonna throw my brand new D&D 1 ability, the good old classic, awesome tactical mind, and I'm gonna throw a D10 on top of that too.
Alright,
only
By
if you
burning one of my
fail.
second wins.
Oh yeah, you
But
can
only
only
if
do
you
it when you
fail.
fail it.
Only if I fail. So, how does a 25 do?
I love
and
it.
is it better than a 19?
So, I mean, your DC was 12.
Right. Cool. So then
And-
I'll keep the D10. That's cool.
Wait,
I was just kind of making a point.
I love it. I love that feature, tactical mind. It's beautiful, man. And you know what? Do you have it? Do you currently have advantage?
I do not.
I'd like you to either choose if you take this D10 back or if you keep that roll and all of the benefits and luxuries that success will afford you, or you can have this D10 or advantage on a D20. So it's your choice.
I was going to try and help him with a medicine check.
Okay. What would you do medically to help with the situation? So first, though, Nick,
right.
what do you choose for?
Sorry, all I can think of is like her line. Did you know half the bones in your body are in your hands?
She's the creepy torturer.
I'm looking at him, and
Spooky medicine.
He's pretty.
I'll absolutely keep the 25.
Okay.
I
He's
love the
pretty-
25.
Cool.
I look at him and he's pretty bloody, and I notice he gets just a little bit more bloody when Cudgel hits him.
Yeah.
And as I'm looking at him, I'm gonna be like, if you take a couple more those Cudgel punches, there won't be a thing I can do for you.
He's all out of bandages, motherfucker.
I don't. You better start telling the truth, or we're gonna be throwing you at the sea and letting the sharks eat you up.
So
You should see the octopus we caught earlier.
So what is the maneuver you do, Hawk, also? So you've got advantage now. You got the advantage dice. But can you explain the maneuver? What maneuver was that?
So, commanding presence. Remember Donnie Brasco?
Okay.
So
Okay.
It's full interrogation, right? Like, I spend way too much time, like, killing certain candles so we get the lights right.
Okay.
But the camera kind of pans right in and gets close, and I'm entirely too close to him. Smoke's just kind of floating around. I've lit several cigarettes.
Beautiful.
Okay. I push the vermouth ever so much closer to him. I'm like, I just need you to start answering a lot of questions in rapid succession for me, or else I cannot guarantee your safety. Cudgel's gonna mess you up, and we're gonna get her to put you back together. And I point not at Blackrose, but at Kaligari, who's definitely hammered by now and fighting with her own bow and arrow. She's gonna put you back together, and you don't want that, and I don't want that.
All right. Beautiful. He spills a little bit of information. He says, I'm not any kind of leader, you have to understand. And Dragonlance paid us. So if you want to know more, you're going to have to talk to Dragonlance. I was just...
Exactly what did he pay you to do?
Several days ago, Dragonlance went off into the woods near the camp and came back with a bunch of gold. He didn't just tell everybody. He just told people he'd trained with and was close to, and, we were friends, kind of. Afterward, he hired us to attack the Vogler militia during the reenactment. He told us we were going to raid Vogler afterwards, that there's a lot of money in town because of the festival. I didn't think we were going to be killing villagers. I thought we were only going to be killing militia.
Right.
And he says...
One of those festivals.
But
you thought it was one of
Dragonlance-
those festivals that was all just for military people. That's good. You're a smart kid, Stilt.
Cudgel says, from the back of the room. And Jarlbrawn, getting bored at the West Side house, because you did see that there are lights inside, but the curtains are drawn. They have their servants, one of them standing out by the front door, trying to be a watchman, but you can tell that they're basically a butler and not good at being on watch because they didn't even spot you. Do you return then to the Brass Crab, getting bored once again?
Yes, a moderated knocking sounds at the front door. I'm trying to be gentle, but I'm using my closed fist.
Cudgel opens the door immediately because that's actually where she was standing, her back to the front door, as far away from the prisoner as she could stand in the room and still hear. She opens the door and she looks you in the face and she said, did you want to go for the other side? And you can see Jarlbrawn. You hit her hard enough that side of her cheek, despite the fact that she's been in battle and has blood on her, that your palm mark is still on her right cheek. She offers you her left.
I believe I owe you an apology.
No, you owe me
Jesus.
you owe me another slap, you pansy. And she locks
That
eyes.
much like Jesus.
And she
Let's not do this right now.
She locks eyes with you, and you see a slight smile. You have you've done a lot so far for people I don't think you really even know, and I don't think you were just saving your own skin. I saw that. I want you to know. I had nothing to do with this, Jarlbrawn.
I'm starting to see that I got caught up in the moment, I think.
Dragonlance got paid. He got paid a large sum of gold to then recruit mercenaries, his loyal mercenaries. Svilt over there. He tried to stab me in the back at the beginning of the reenactment. He had 2 others with
I
him.
imagine that went well for it.
No, it did not go well for him, nor the 2 others with him that we left dead out there. I can't
Yeah,
get
come
close
in.
to that guy, or I'm going to murder him.
I understand. That's, do you want to come out, or may I come in?
Right. She steps aside and realizes she was blocking the fucking door. She lets you in. This is when you hear the current conversation and interrogation.
Thank you.
Slurp, I've got
Slurp?
2 questions
Did you
for
call
you.
him Slurp?
Yes, it's like the 10th name.
Is he cherry flavored?
If his last
Snurvin?
Is his-
Snurvin?
Slurpee.
Slytherin.
Where is Gregoris, and the rest of the rest of your troop right now?
I saw
By the way-
Dragonlance fall.
We killed him. He was the first to fall, the big dummy. He was the big half-ogre.
Excellent. So where's the other half of the troop?
Well, a few mercenaries remained at their camp, including Jayev.
Awesome.
And he says the name Jayev loudly. And Cudgel takes a couple of steps forward. So you find out that this individual, Jayev, is Cudgel's other lieutenant. And he thinks that the others at the camp might be loyal to Cudgel. The one that Dragonlance paid all accompanied him to the reenactment.
All right, so we fully solved the problem. We just don't know who Dragonlance was working for. And then I grab him and I shake him and I go, "Who Dragonlance working for?"
He doesn't know, and he is so badly injured. Blackrose, you feel like this guy is about a hit point away from unconscious at this point.
Sneak attack.
All right. Well, in that case,
Punch him in the face.
Do you? Do you hit him? Do you punch him?
gently?
Punch him in the face.
Sweet.
Okay, and I just normal punch him in the face.
Non-lethal. He is out. Please roll a d4. We'll see how many hours he will be asleep for.
And maybe I missed it, but did he say who Jayev is, or is it just a friend of Cudgel?
The other lieutenant.
He has another lieutenant of Cudgel's, and Cudgel's seemed to respond when she heard the name. She knows who that is.
3 hours.
Svilt is going to be asleep for 3 hours unless they receive medical assistance. Thank you.
Awesome. Good to know. All right. next move, guys.
Should we accompany Cudgel back to our camp, do you think? And maybe we could do a detour towards the hill and see if Dragonlance, the dumbass that he was, maybe he has something that would indicate who he was working for.
No, I go alone, she says from the back of the room.
Really?
Well, I mean, now we're gonna come.
No, if my mercenaries have betrayed me, don't want anyone else walking into danger. Your job, your duty is to stay here and protect these people. We've heard...
I'm sorry, I don't work for you, Cudgel.
That would
Right.
be me.
Well, then talk to your employer. And she pushes out the door.
We don't know
into-
who the hell we're protecting them from.
Into
How
the
we
dark.
got everybody we know of, right? Who? Wait, she just leaves?
Yep,
This
she's going
bitch.
alone. Let's go along
Alright.
with her.
Yeah, we'll go. I immediately catch up to her. She's not faster than me. All right. So wait, who are we protecting it from? The other? Who do you think? What do you know that I don't know? He just said we killed everybody. It counted as Cudgel. What the fuck, dude?
Oh,
Who are you working for?
there's a mysterious employer who wanted the town looted. They might still do it by themselves.
So Mayor Raven stays there, Becklin remains there, Darrett remains there. Yalmay has closed up all of the storm windows on the building. What do the rest of you do? Morgan, Blackrose, Giffel.
Well, I think we should stay and see if we can fortify the town a little bit. I gotta see what I can do for the injured.
Yeah, so the mayor says, I'll take you over to my house immediately. Follow me.
Oh, okay.
And she heads over. It's on the north side of the village circle. I think this location, is revealed to you. Yep. The mayor gets there, and as she walks across this village circle, she says to you, I can't thank you enough. And a couple villagers also walk over, asking the mayor what they can do. And she says, do you need some nurses, Blackrose?
Oh yes, nurses would be fun. I mean, great. So let's is there a herb garden or do you have any wild plants in town?
Raven says, maybe in the forest on the north side of Augrey, you might find some medicinal herbs and some seasonings. Might be mostly rosemary, actually. Now that I think about it, that's growing over there. Can you use rosemary medicinally?
Oh yes. It's also really good
Okay.
at flavoring dog food. But that's another discussion for another day.
As she opens
That's
up
not
the
important
door,
right now.
as she opens up the door to her house, she just gives you a look that's just a little
Where do
question.
you keep your domesticated wild plants? I'd like to roll another intimidation check.
She lets you into the mayor's home, and you begin setting up a hospital.
Yeah, I'm
Mean-
gonna have to triage and see who's the most grievously wounded.
Well, the injured are currently being still wheeled into the town, and they're now being directed to the mayor's home. People who are hurt and also the dead are being brought there as well. This is all taking some time. Meanwhile, let's get to Morgan and Giffel. What are you guys doing?
I mean, my talents, they lie in being a detective
Mhm.
or a scout. So I'm thinking what would be useful right now is if I just patrol the outskirts of Vogler. And doing so alone, I would be so stealthy that if an enemy approaches or anybody send their own scouts, maybe I'm gonna find out.
All right. So Giffel leaves in the dark alone to survey the town. Who do you tell? Because at the moment, the only person in your
I would
party
like-
is
I
Morgan.
would- Before I go, we all debate where we're needed, Giffel thinks this is where he's needed, but anybody asks, he's gonna help them for whatever.
I'm
Everybody's
just gonna go grab the weapons from the gate that I dropped off,
Mhm.
bring them back here. Stop in Thornwall Keep, see if do we want to bring the other guest here? Because as far as I'm aware, he's still there with 2 guards who probably have no idea what the hell's going on. So he's gonna, head up. First things first is grab the weapons and bring them back to the Brass Crab. Just since they're kind of battening down the hatches and everything.
Are you going quickly,
They seem to
Morgan?
be... Yes.
Then you catch up to Hawk and Jarlbrawn, who are currently walking at a fast pace toward the north side of town with Cudgel Ironsmile. So let's come back here to Jarlbrawn, Morgan, and Hawk. So what's happening, guys? Cudgel's
Has she answered any of our questions?
You'll have to ask them again. Because no, she's not answering.
God damn it. Okay. So our plan is we're going there to see if the rest of your troops have turned on you, correct, Cudgel?
I need to know who is with me and who is
Awesome.
not.
Awesome. And you didn't want us to come.
I don't want to put anyone in danger. This is my fault, you understand. This is my company.
I understand that, but like your entire job is putting people in danger. Like, come on.
And I don't mean any disrespect, but the last time we ran into rogue members of your company, we weren't the ones in danger.
We're really good at this. So yeah, should we not bring more people to, spread the danger out, or are you just trying to ditch us? If you're just trying to ditch us, we might let that happen. Just tell us right now.
I am not trying to ditch you. Listen, when you've had your own mercenary group, trained them, paid them, vetted them, the way a doctor does a horse before a good run, then we can have a conversation about what I should be doing and what is my responsibility. I have to ask you, who is protecting these people here? They have
From
clearly
what
been
danger?
attacked. They have clearly been attacked.
By your people!
Exactly.
So we should go. Oh my god, Cudgel, you just need to be fucking straight with me right now. Are you going on your little sanctimonious murder mission, or are you trying to drop town, or both? What is your deal, dude?
Do you want to come with me? Is that what you're asking? Or would you like for me to
mean,
stay here and not go deal with my company?
Sounds far. You don't answer questions. You answer questions with questions, which makes you seem seedy, and it's a real sign that you're just lying. And I can't figure out what you're lying about, which is frustrating.
Make an insight check,
He needs
Hawk.
to do this.
That's a 9.
She is probably Jarlbrawn's peer or senior. It's hard to tell. Dwarves get old, and Jarlbrawn has a bit of humanness in them, so it might make them look a little older than they
I'm
are.
clean shaven. It makes me very young.
And he's clean shaven. I think Cudgel might have.
Dwarf with no beard?
I think Cudgel might have more stubble than Jarlbrawn at this point, but she's hard to read, man.
All right.
She looks at you, Jarlbrawn, and she says, "Well, he's already proclaimed that he is your lackey. Can you control your dog? Are you going with me?
Hardly,
Can you be quiet if we're going out to my camp? I don't wish to be sabotaged on the way."
Hey, you can't hurt my feelings by saying exactly what my job is, okay?
I don't believe that quiet is an option, but we can try. I understand for what it's worth. that you need to do this. I would simply persuade you otherwise that you don't have to do it alone.
Morgan, Hawk, Giffel? Yeah, you know what? I think... Would you just head
think we're all
north,
going
Giffel?
to the camp.
All right, cool. So I need you guys to get yourselves north because Cudgel is currently at the river gate, and that's where 3 roads kind of splinter off, and this is the way out of town. And as you all stand there, I'd like for each of you to make a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
And keep in mind, we didn't kill all of the turncoats. There could be some outside the city.
I'm sure there are some that ran away,
Jarlbrawn.
but I'm not there.
Yeah, Jarlbrawn, you pick up on a sound, and you know this sound. It's far away. It's like metal moving. Oh, Hawk. Now Hawk picks
Sorry.
it up.
Oh, shit.
Hey,
Natural
I
20.
I was wondering why no one had any perception.
I love it. Yeah. Jarlbrawn knows what it is, but Hawk knows exactly where it's coming from. You can hear the sound of metal against stone. And the reason you recognize the sound is, Jarlbrawn, you made this sound when you were trying to break out of the cell in Thornwall Keep. But this one is far away and maybe slightly overhead, and Hawk triangulates that the sound is coming from Thornwall Keep.
Or prisoner. And or very escape-proof prison cell, right?
Yep, that feels like something we should go investigate.
Indeed.
I size up Cudgel and I just say, you're not going to wait around, are you?
No. You can keep up. Or try to keep up.
Look,
Black-
guys, we can't give her some time. It would be weird if she arrived with strangers in her camp. Give her
No,
some
it's-
time, and maybe tomorrow we can get back there and see what panned out.
I
You're
just
right, it's
figured
way
you'd
better
let
for
me
the
show
general
up.
to show up by themselves. That's normal.
That's what they did in Gladiator.
What's that?
So, Jarlbrawn,
That's what they did. She did the last time.
as you are all talking and running, I assume, toward Thornwall Keep,
Yes.
Mhm.
Talking about Gladiator.
Hawk, Jarlbrawn runs right past it, but you see your net on the ground at the doorway entrance to Thornwall Keep. You remember what you did with that net?
I honestly do not.
You threw it over the prisoner as an additional way to keep them
Oh, right. Yeah,
Secure.
sorry. I got to mix up. Yeah.
Jarlbrawn.
You
You're the
see, that's a bad sign.
Jarlbrawn, you're the first one down. As you run down the stairs, your feet kind of slam into a barrel. And that barrel used to be filled with alcohol. It is empty. And as it rolls down, you can see the mugs that were used to consume said alcohol. And tied to the remainder of the cell, which has clearly been smashed and broken, tied up back to back around some of the busted bars, you see the 2 guards that you had seen earlier today playing cards. One of them is unconscious. The other is slamming against the bars, trying to push their way out.
I mean, Jarlbrawn, when you're right, you're right.
I mean, if I was coming in here thinking if they aren't dead, I'm going to kill them. But we need to find out what happened first.
How did you get in? How are you in the cage?
Where did it go?
Maybe it left tracks behind. Because
And
clearly
how long
these
ago?
two incompetent will not know.
He says, "Oh my God, thank you. Thank you for getting
Shut up.
here.
Where did it go?
Same way you came down.
How long ago?
I woke up. We both were drinking.
I turn and run back up the stairs without letting him out.
Yep, right behind him.
And Giffel and Morgan, who arrive a moment just at the same moment, you are there at the precipice of the doorway to Thornwall Keep, and you run into them.
Jarlbrawn was so right.
Well, Giffel at this point, seeing that the thing is long gone, he would have started looking for traces of where they went.
Make a survival
he's
check.
Outside.
Yeah. Stop stomping around, look for tracks.
13.
The tracks lead back to the river gate, and then they disappear because they have been trodden across by everybody returning to Vogler.
Ooh, so it was a while ago. That's
Yep.
bad.
Yeah.
You take it
at
it
least we can
happened.
definitely still catch up to Cudgel.
You take
Yeah,
it
and we
probably
need to find
happened
Cudgel now.
during the reenactment. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, Cudgel is in a very unsafe place now. I think we
Mhm.
need to catch up.
Yep. Hustle bustle.
All right.
Should we get Blackrose? She's helping the villagers.
Yeah, Blackrose, I'd like you to make a medicine check for me.
Okay. 10.
You have 29 injured villagers. I'd like you to roll a d4. Four of them are going to die if they are not treated. What do you do?
Okay.
You have 2 nurses and Mayor Raven.
All right. Here, you get some sheets and start ripping them into strips, and you get a nice clean bucket of warm water, and I'm going to use. You said 4 are about to die.
Yes.
I'm going to use my field bandage healer's kit on 4 of them. I got and so do these things have hit dice?
You would like to use your class feature, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Normally they roll a hit dice plus your modifier, right?
Yeah, but when I use my field kit, it's I roll their hit dice.
Yes.
And then I add 2 HP to it.
They have a D8 hit die.
Okay.
How many times can you do
whenever well, technically I can do it 19 times, but I'm just going to use 4 kits for now.
Oh, you're using a healer's kit to do it. I understand now.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay.
So I'm going to roll 4d8 then.
So you just basically are
So-
using 4 charges of your medical kit to do this, right?
Yes. Now I get to
Excellent.
re-roll that one because
That's
of the
convenient.
healer proficiency.
That is
So
awesome.
one gets 10, one gets 4, one gets 7, and another one gets 4.
So you've brought them back from the brink, and Raven, Uth Vogler. You can tell that like she is a caring soul, and while she's trying to help, you can tell that she feels personally responsible for the people of Vogler. And, she coordinated this event, and she asked the Ironclad mercenaries to come and visit and to participate. And she looks at you and she says, I feel really bad, and I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to the town.
Well, it's something that's unexplainable. All you can do is comfort people and help them move on. They might be mad, but we all know this world is not for the gentle.
I'm just used to things being a little slower here in Vogler. Wasn't really ready for this, but I appreciate what you're doing. I need a minute. And she steps outside. There's so much blood in what was her home, and it's now all over the floors. And people, some of the commoners who are your assistants, have found cloth for you, but only found cloth for you by tearing up the curtains and the bedcloths. And so they have injured people in even the mayor's room on her bed. And the smell of death and urine, because when people are dying and hurt themselves, sometimes they lose control of their bowels. It's something you're used to, Blackrose, but it is not something Raven is used to. And she has to step outside.
Yes. This reminds me of the orphanage, this smell. But good, you got. We're gonna try and clean the wounds a little bit. Then we're gonna wrap them in these clean cloths, and then we're gonna have to try and clean up a little bit, because the poo and the urine will just infect the wound. So let's just try and clean up where we can. Okay?
They do their best. Guys, we didn't take a break kind of halfway through. Let's take a short little break here as you guys move north of the town and into the woods at night. We'll be right back. I think we're all back. Welcome back. It's Shadow of the Dragon Queen. And let's hop into the woods with Giffel, Hawk, Jarlbrawn, and Morgan.
So like I was telling you guys, the woods are just trees and the trees are just wood. So that's kind of how it works.
But leaves, they're different, aren't they?
If you're all done talking.
So all the trees are brown and I'm not finished, and the sky is gray.
Maybe one of you wouldn't mind going out and scouting ahead.
Yeah, I can do that.
Please. We don't work for you.
She asked nicely.
She didn't. She didn't at all.
She didn't want you to come, and now she's giving y'all orders.
She told us to shut up and then was sarcastic. That was not nice, Giffel. Are you okay?
No, I'm not all right. What, you want
Not
pleasantries?
You, I don't care.
You want pleasantries?
I mean, Cudgel, you're not gonna do this. Doesn't work on me. I've known you for too long. Go scout out, Giffel. Thank you so much for risking your life for Cudgel's HR problem.
And Giffel is distracted by all the bickering back there, so he's snapping all the branches on the ground. Oh, damn it.
Yeah. It's not until you get right there, Giffel, actually, that you spot that there is somebody out here with you. You see a hunched figure. They have a robe covering most of their body. And they don't seem to be walking like a normal humanoid. There's something off about their gait.
Yes. Giffel is gonna signal to the others, like, be quiet, I see something right there. And
it stops.
Can I reroll that? Oh.
It stops once you make a noise. It notices you notice them and just turns. But it's dark, it's hard to see. But they are clearly, they've turned towards you, but all you see inside the cloak is a dark visage.
Introduce yourself. Who are you? Giffel is gonna say out loud. Where is it? Because I don't see it on the map.
As you take a step forward, they throw the hood back, and that's when you hear and see a horrifying noise.
Angry?
No, it's the old man. Ethar, I think. What are you doing here at this time of night?
I got lost, headed back into town, but I found these. Very peculiar.
And he
Nice.
points.
I'm gonna-
He points around the tree. The rest of you have caught up at this point, since Giffel was only about 20 feet away from you.
By the way, I have an ear for deceit. Is he playing us, or is he really that, like, weird?
And make an insight check.
Ah, that's better. That's a 19. 18. Ugh.
Nice.
Nothing about this old man has so far led you to think that they were clever enough to deceive you.
Alright, so what is he pointing? Oh,
He's pointing toward tracks that
Clawed
are
tracks.
clearly reptilian looking tracks.
Giffel mumbles to himself. He's like, the old man is a better tracker than I am. Hey guys, I think we found the draconian tracks.
Oh, thank God.
Excellent work.
You have to thank Eltar.
Can you please point me toward the town? I'm completely turned around at this point.
Just follow these tracks backwards, Althar. You should find it.
These tracks.
That away.
And he points
In the
toward
right
the
direction.
he points toward the reptilian tracks.
These tracks.
Nope.
Yes, you found them the first time, yes? You're a tracker.
Why would I follow reptilian tracks?
Oh, follow them backwards. The reptilian tracks will have come from the city.
As you look, there is more than one set of reptilian tracks from this point.
Why don't you follow our tracks, Elthar?
Your tracks. Yes.
Yeah, we just came from the
Backwards.
city. You should follow ours. You
No,
go back that way.
No offense, young man.
He says, looking at you, Jarlbrawn. And instead he looks at Hawk and he says,
Very wise. Very wise. Yes. Yeah. Follow these tracks.
yeah, he does all right. He does okay. Elthar starts wandering off into the dark.
He'll probably be
Chuckle to
fine.
myself, and I just say, I was old when he was born.
Wait, what?
Not old, no, but I was grown. I was a man.
Oh. I was completely wrong about how old you were.
Yes, I am 140.
The wolves
What
aren't
the
hungry
hell?
tonight anyway.
Cudgel
You look
squints
good.
her eyes.
Thank you.
Hawk, you did a survival check, right? 15?
Oh yeah, that was to see whether or not I was pointing him in the right direction, but I'll take any other information.
So it's dark, but you have good enough eyesight, and you've seen enough tracks to get a gist of what you're seeing here. You're seeing 3 different sets of reptilian tracks that both came and left from this same sort of eastern direction. And there are a single set of human-looking boots heading north and south. It appears a big person and 3 reptilian creatures met at this spot. One went north, the large humanoid, and another went east.
How old are these tracks? Is this like from 2 days ago?
Few hours.
You feel like it was either within the last 24 hours, couldn't have been longer than that.
Big enough to be a half ogre's tracks?
Yeah, exactly.
Make a nature check. Anybody?
Hey, Cudgel, you don't have any lizards.
Does anybody
in your
have a
militia, do you?
proficiency in nature?
I'm excellent in
No.
nature.
I don't have proficiency, but
Nope. Same.
You do all right. You do very well. Yeah. Yeah, those are half ogre boots leading north and south.
So now we have an idea of who employed them, and my hunch was right. It is the draconians.
All right. So do we go, Cudgel, you want to go still check on your guys, or should we go dragon people?
She looks at the footprints and hears your analysis, and the fire comes back into her eyes. I have a singular purpose.
Cool, that's nice.
She begins heading north.
Well, that's surprising. I thought the singular purpose would be revenge, but all right.
Okay, nope, it is taking attendance.
Yep.
You know what management is like. See, this is why I don't want to work for her. She's the one that's going to notice if you like miss a half a day.
We'll handle the revenge for her.
Yep, let's go get some revenge. I'm done with this lady.
I honestly enjoy that part better anyways. I was never the middle management type.
Yep. This, when we were peers, she was cool. Second she gets an iota of power, goes right to her frickin' head.
I hope I won't wind up the same.
She's gonna
I would
get
love
eaten
to
by
be
a wolf.
doing revenge my whole life.
Oh, it'd be so fun.
You follow these tracks for more than an hour, leading you from the woods into sort of more rugged hills, and in a valley, you see the woods give way to a ledge overlooking a shallow valley. In the distance,
She's got a huge camp.
In the distance, you see dozens of low fires that are illuminating hundreds of red tents, and among them you see patrols of shadowy human-like figures. Over 1,000 soldiers occupy this camp.
All right, you guys take the right, I'll take the left.
Yep. Okay, take out the sword, do a little stretch.
Guys,
Yeah.
we need to warn everybody.
I mean, if we just kill them, there will be nothing to warn about.
I mean, that's not the best plan I've heard, but if that's what you want to do.
No, I'm joking. I'm kidding.
Oh,
We need to
thank
get
God.
everyone out.
Oh, thank God. Yep. All right.
Giffel
So
is also visibly relieved.
Yeah, Morgan was starting to hyperventilate, trying
I mean,
to how he
I
gets.
still think we can take him, but yeah, if you want
Oh,
if you want to head back to town, I'm okay with that. Let's go.
Just fireball it. It'll be okay.
I'm not 5th level yet.
I throw a rock. How many did I get?
Nothing. You hit a tree.
He killed 20 of them with the rock, and then he threw it.
The rock says that it's all about family.
Ouch.
Is it the People's Rock?
Looking at the camp, we follow the draconian marks this way, correct?
Right, we should ask questions about this. What good
Yeah.
heads up play, my man. Thank you.
Do we
Yes.
see just draconians? Do we see a mixture of draconians and people dressed similar to what we fought?
Make a perception check.
Are the fires draconian colored?
Well, we can see their outlines.
Yep.
Silhouettes, yeah.
You see
That guy looks pretty draconian. Look at him.
You see draconians, you see soldiers, humanoids, you see what might be a minotaur here and there. You see a very, very diverse population.
I don't know.
It's
Maybe
the
we
woke
should let
mob.
them. Yeah, maybe we should let them take over. They seem pretty accepting.
Gold is the great leveler.
There is a patrol approaching. I need you all to make a stealth check.
Oh, good.
As Cudgel,
very good at stealth.
as Cudgel is no longer with you, I need an average here. So it's going
Guys,
to
I
be
hate Cudgel so
Excellent.
much.
I'm going to use my lucky trait and reroll.
Yes, please.
Oh, roll
because that was
high.
bad.
Oh, I do have an advantage.
Well,
I will use. I'll try again as well. This one will just be normal.
okay. All right, go ahead and give me the average here, guys. Considering a 10, a 14,
15.25.
Awesome. I knew it. I knew somebody was doing the math. I knew it. Thank you, Augrey.
You're welcome.
You see 3 draconians. These are large bodies and small wings. I think I've got an image for you here.
I call them the chicken.
You see 3 of these.
The image in my head is awesome.
Okay, good.
That's not it, though.
So sorry. Your image is
Partner Zim.
your image is good for you. We'll leave it there.
Have you ever seen Quest for Camelot? And there's that big fat dragon with the tiny, tiny wings.
I was picturing Dragonite immediately.
Yeah, that works too.
I was picturing
Or Dragon Tails.
the caterpillar from
From the movie?
from A Bug's Life, where it's like, oh, I got my wings.
Butterfly.
And he's got
All
these
right.
tiny little wings.
All right, I'm not going to
that
post
back.
any more graphics so that you guys can live in the theater of the mind, because I actually like your description better. I really do like that better.
It's a Bug's Life to me now, too.
I mean, this one looks really cool too. Yours was really nice too.
It wasn't mine. Yeah, you see a wide mix, but I'd say primarily
All right.
what you see are humans in this camp out there.
That makes sense. Humans are terrible.
Aren't they?
Says the human.
So so there are a couple of soldiers that draw near, and 3 of these draconians, and they do not notice you. They pass.
Well,
They just
if-
die.
They pass you by. Thank you. They pass. They pass. Wow. I have to be so careful with like my vernacular.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
They just fucking die right there.
I wish I wasn't like this. I really do.
I don't.
I can't enjoy anything.
I was looking at the gifts. I missed it.
All right, cool. Well, I guess that's kind of making our decision for us. We might need to go or bail, because there seems to be more of them than there are people in the town.
Yes, I believe that if they haven't taken notice of the town, they may not be headed that way, and perhaps huddling in place is viable. But evacuation seems the safest way.
I would
Oh,
say
I do like a huddle.
released a prisoner, Draconian. He's bound to find them at some point.
That
And
is
lead us. And
He's
lead them
probably
back.
already in the camp.
Right.
He'll
Do we
be-
sneak in and get him? No, I didn't like it as I was saying it.
No.
If I had
We
an
would
idea,
blend in though.
Yeah. Get back to town.
And hope the problem avoids us? Yep. That seems really likely.
Just
Yeah,
hope
great
it goes.
mod.
Get
Module.
on their boats and traveled downriver towards Kalamon.
It would be nice to know what direction they came from. I would imagine the east, but
I also want to know why so many. What's their target? Maybe Kajon and her band?
why don't you go ask one?
Oh, okay. I've got a thing. Here we go. So, presumably these folks are all wearing some sort of defining marker that makes them part of this group?
They all have blue pennies on.
Blue what?
Blue pennies.
I thought you said panties.
Like in high school gym
Thank you
class.
for clarifying.
Pennies.
Thank you. It's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
You, I'd say, what was the perception check that I got? Was it a 16?
Our stealth check?
Perception.
16. Yes.
16
And a 13
perception.
from Giffel.
Okay. Yes. You see an identifiable similarity marking
Excellent.
on all of their
So
armor.
what I would like to do, and we're on the outskirts of this encampment, right?
Yeah, you are pretty far. You're looking down into this valley. I think this perspective is actually too close. This is
Okay,
only a
cool.
16 perceptions worth of vision that you can see here. The rest of you and your passive, you're far away from this.
This is a what
Cool.
do your elf eyes see scenario.
What
All
is
right.
it?
So it's
It's a Legolas, what do your elf eyes see?
Oh, thank you.
Kind of
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
literally every detail from miles away. I mean, I can pop down real quick and ask a couple strategic questions and be right back.
I'm actually alright with that.
Fantastic. I'll be right back. And
You go in.
cool. So my whole deal is that I've got a bunch of different holy symbols on me, but in this context, it's just a bunch of different papers that I've made with my forgery kit, so I can blend in with most armies and militias. So using a combination of that and my disguise kit, I'd like to just get close enough to any patrol that's not like way on the outskirts, but maybe like one step in.
One just passed you.
Right, so that's
the-
perfect. So I'm
that's
outside
the
of the outer
closest-
patrol.
Yeah, that's the
So-
closest
so
patrol.
I don't want
you
to
see.
don't want to catch up to them because they're watching for people that are getting in.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to go find the one that's closer. So it looks like I'm one of the guys that was. Yeah, I'm just going to start walking towards until I find anybody.
Well, you actually approach what appears to be a couple of people who are kind of on watch, but the side of this camp where there is a kitchen. You can smell food being cooked,
Perfect.
but there are some guards that seem to be standing within a stone's throw of each other as sort of an inner perimeter.
Excellent. I'll walk up to one of these guards.
You walk up to a guard. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So I've flipped out the rights. Just got the traveling cloak on. I'll approach.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Evening.
Yeah, as you approach, one of them holds a javelin ready and says, "You'll stop walking right there." He's a human.
Oh.
He's a human, but he's got a thing in his hands. He's going to throw it at you, and he
Bad luck.
shouts, which grabs the attention of a few other guards and people in the kitchen.
Oh, immediately stop and almost duck down and go, "Oh my god, sorry. Hi. Sorry. Hey. The name is it's Skip. Skip Lojinx. Sorry. Didn't mean to startle you guys. Way to keep your heads up though. I just camped up just over there, and I point over in a direction towards some tents. Listen, I dropped my note with our heading for tomorrow. Just wanted to get the update. Do you know the exact way? And I point at my compass, all confused, like, just need the heading for tomorrow again.
If I could make a deception check, please.
Okie dokie. Gonna burn a superiority die on that. Boop. Okay. And we're gonna put that maneuver on that. Was that better? I don't have a... Okay. That is a 16... Gonna burn the tactics on it too, just in case. Stuff stacks in this one, huh?
But only if you fail.
Oh yeah, but if it makes a difference,
So
I can make it a 20 if a 16 fails.
you feel like with your 16, you would have failed this attempt. However, you have a superior way with words, let's say it that way. And they don't immediately throw their javelins at you. Instead, they stick them back in the ground, standing next to them, as though ready to grab and throw, and instead draw their longswords and hold them at their sides, says, all right. Who is your commanding officer?
I would like to use my years of experience to think of the most common surname that I can think of.
What is the most common surname you think of?
Smith.
All right.
Could be, right?
All right.
Blacksmith?
All right.
Yeah. Smithson. It would still be like son of Smith. So yeah, Smithson.
Two of the nearby guards who have now walked within danger distance start laughing. And the one you're talking to shakes their head and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. It's probably why you don't even have the right armor on." Sure. Come on in.
I mean, it's Bush League over there.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sure. Yeah. What was that name again? One of them asks as you walk past.
Oh, sorry. My name? Or Commander Smith?
They don't reply, but all three now look at you. Shaname, another one says.
Oh, my name. Be specific. Jesus. Skip Lofix.
I'm going to need to hire a new mercenary.
And your name?
They go back to
What was your name again?
They go back to their watch, ignoring you.
All right, cool. Bye then.
So the tent that you're next to here is next to a stream, and there are a couple of people who look like they are purely here to feed, but they're soldiers. They're soldiers who probably got thrown on cook duty. The food here is, it's quantity over quality. But this is the tent that you enter. You feel like you've, at least for now, found your way into the camp. What are the rest of you doing? That took about 10 minutes.
I'm wondering if it's Chef Beauregard.
Giffel?
Hey, I don't know.
How good are you
What
at
are the
sitting?
others
How good
doing?
are you being quiet and sitting still? How about that?
Being quiet, I'm very good. Sitting still, not so much. Because I'm considering, do I try to catch up silently with Cudgel and warn her? Because it's not already been 10 minutes, it's been maybe 5 so far. But that would be splitting the party even more. I think I'm just gonna keep an eye out. If a hawk brings the cavalry back, I'm gonna pelter them with arrows. Try to help him if he gets into trouble. Yeah.
Morgan?
Morgan is looking at Jarlbrawn in the camp, and he is clearly out of his depth. He is staying as stock still as possible, just trying to track Hawk as possible, and just kind of whipping his head back and forth, checking the people around his reactions to see if he should be panicking, if he should be fine.
Last you saw, he entered a tent. Looks like he got through the guards at least.
Just looks at your over, just wide-eyed. Is everything going okay?
To hire another mercenary, it seems.
I pat Morgan's arm and just say, "It's all right. He's done this lots. He'll be fine." And I have my eyes just fixed on the tent that he went into.
Blackrose, make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh.
You touched poo, Blackrose.
16?
Wash your hands.
You feel like someone who wasn't trained the way you were, and somebody who wasn't as battle-hardied as you and in as good of shape would probably be exhausted at this point with the level of work that you've done. But you're keeping up.
I have an echo question because it doesn't actually say. It says I can use my echo to attack, but can I use it to help me clean up and stuff? Like mop the floors or something?
Yeah, just trying to keep the place clean, right? You're trying to
Yeah.
have a
yeah, I'm
sterile
trying to-
environment. Yeah, for sure. I kind of took that with your medicine check, but you're also commanding a couple of others at the moment, so I'd like for you to use some sort of charisma-based check to see how well these nurses are able to follow your commands.
Well, I have absolutely no charisma skills, so I guess I'll go with persuasion.
Okay.
I mean, there's no like command thing, but I guess a 19 will do.
You can be persuasive as a commander, I think, and you are very much so, and they do their best to help you as much as they can. There's a couple of other villagers who have injured, and also some that are dead, and the dead have also been brought here to the mayor's home.
Well, how big is the house? Is there like a spare room where we could, like a gym floor or something, where we could just
No, you're a
put
doctor, you would
put
know.
the dead next to each other?
Are you wanting to do something with the bodies?
Well, what I'm wanting to do is get the dead away from the living. So, like, kind of like cordon off a section where you're placing the dead bodies on the floor.
Raven says, I have a guest house that's never used. And she heads out and has them bring the bodies away from the home. All of the spare rooms and the main room, the kitchen, are all occupied at the moment in this mayor's home.
Okay.
It's completely filled with people.
All right, yeah, let's get those bodies to the other house. And sorry for ruining all your houses. I'm cleaning up as best I can.
What good is a house if there's no one to share it with, right?
I understand that.
As she walks away, you can tell Raven is definitely exhausted. Hawk, I'm going to bring it back to you, okay?
Yo.
So, what are your intentions here as you move through the camp?
Well, exactly what I'm looking for clues about who everybody is, where they're from, but mostly I'm just trying to figure out the heading for tomorrow.
Okay.
I want to determine whether or not this group of people are headed towards the town or not.
Yeah, I'm going to need another persuasion check or deception.
Cool. Persuasion check. 18.
Yeah, you do pretty good job of sounding like you know enough to be in this camp, but also that you are authentically looking for information. Very little is known about what is going to happen. They know that they are nearing the town of Vogler, but it doesn't sound like anyone that you have been able to just communicate with is a commander. And so the information that you get is that there's promise of supplies, and it seems like this group is ready to raid, as though they can kind of sense that they're near a town that they're going to plunder.
Excellent.
That's the vibe.
Exactly what I was looking for.
That's the vibe you're getting, Hawk. However, you don't get a timeline necessarily with your persuasion check.
That's perfect. Oh man, can't wait. I do love doing some raiding. I'm gonna get me a new oil lamp, maybe a couple changes of clothes. It's good. Hope they have lots of turnips. Anyway, you have a good evening. I clap them on the back, and I just wander, and at my find a dark corner of the forest line and head back to my friends.
So as you're leaving, you do bump into one of these draconians. They just kind of weren't watching where they were going, or they didn't care whether or not they ran into you. And so you come face to face with one of these, and they look at you and kind of snort.
I politely snort back.
It says to you in very broken common, "You smell of blood."
Checking my languages real quick. Yep. Yeah, skipped a couple showers, blew out my knee a while ago. I think I aggravated it again.
You are not wearing your armor. Why?
I blew out a strap that connects the pauldron to the breastplate, and Smith, not Commander Smith, but his nephew, who's the armorer, Smith, is fixing it for me. I just put on my backup set for the rest of the evening. I'm not on duty or patrol or anything. I was just kind of out for a constitutional.
I need a deception check from you.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
And I'm going to use my human resourcefulness to
Okay.
roll with advantage.
All right. Yeah, because you feel like you're not convincing him at this point.
Oh, it was on 20 for so long.
Oh.
Yeah, I got nothing to add for that. Yep, that's that.
Oh.
That's what I said. That's the thing I said.
He draws his sword and he starts shouting. And as you turn, you see that you are just about 10 feet from that perimeter, but they are not looking at you at the moment. Their backs are to you. You can run if you want, but you look around here, you are heavily outnumbered, and they turn and they shout something in Draconic. Sounds aggressive.
And I shout, "He went that way!" And I point to, along the tree line, and
You broke up at the end there. You point toward the tree line.
I'm sorry. I point down the tree line and go, "He went that way!" And then I go into the tree line.
Morgan, you see this as Hawk pulls an excellent maneuver and distracts some of the guards away from them as they run back toward your group. You're reunited again here on the outside of the camp.
Hey guys, let's cheese it. They're gonna raid the shit out of that town. We gotta go either get everybody out or fortify the bejesus out of it, but the work is back in town.
We move.
Yes.
Let's go.
I don't know if we should get Cudgel or not. She's probably gonna come back after she finds out whether it's people. Right, she's either gonna get murdered and they're gonna join those people, or she'll come back with the reinforcements. That's what's gonna cool, let's go!
Fingers crossed it's reinforcements.
It's late at
Hey,
night,
guys.
middle of the
Anybody
night.
seeing?
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Giffel.
No, as we're going fading to black, like you hear Giffel say, "Anybody seen Blackrose?"
Oh no, she's lost in the forest. We spend the next 3 days combing the forest for Blackrose.
I am a wood elf. You would never find me.
As you return to Vogler, it's the middle of the night. You're all pushing exhaustion if you're going to try to stay awake. Where do you go when you return to town as you come back into Vogler?
We have to warn the mayor. Yes.
And Morgan would finally gather up the weapons that he dropped right outside the river gate if they're still there.
Yeah.
And
We're
just
gonna need
move
all those.
them to the brass crab.
All right, you head to the Brass Crab. All right,
Yes.
Giffel, Jarlbrawn.
Let's go
where you
warn the
going?
mayor and Blackrose.
Got
'cause
it.
I know what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Discreetly tell them about the army that's about to raid the place. Not in front of people, just the two of them, you know.
Mayor Raven says, "Wait, there's an army? Are you sure you didn't just see the ironclad regiment? Are you sure?"
We sent a man. Hawk went inside, infiltrated them, and no, they're not.
I mean, my thought was that it was 1,000 people, but no, maybe it was 25.
Okay.
100 tents, perhaps more.
Is the mayor
Couple dozen
gaslighting me?
fires. It was an army.
1,000 strong, at least.
This is a lot to think about.
Certainly more than the village can stand up to.
Or us. We actually need to evacuate the place on your bones, and then maybe we can... Well, Jarlbrawn is gonna decide, but help Cudgel warn her once you guys are safe.
Blackrose, you've done a great job here. Maybe we should step outside for a minute. And as Mayor Raven steps outside with all of you, and she insists that you step outside too, Blackrose, wipe the blood off of your hands.
Okay.
And
I'll clean myself out if there's a spigot at the outside of the house, like
Yeah.
a well or something.
And the Raven asks for Becklin to join her and you at the village center, but to leave Darrett with Svint under guard. Yalme is there as well. Raven shares the news with Becklin. They're planning to take over this town? She says. Is that what you're saying, Hawk?
Maybe not take it over, but definitely loot the heck out of it. So, I mean, either we can get out of here, or you guys, I guess you guys can put all your valuables and supplies out neatly packed and get to keep your homes.
It's unlikely. But
People
My professional opinion is to cheese it. Or we could fight.
People usually don't survive without food. And that's what
neither
they're
do
after.
armies.
We could burn the supplies and leave. Or
You guys-
take the supplies is the obvious answer.
Or poison them.
Are there... I know we just had a fishing event. Are there enough fishing boats to perhaps get people across the river and into the other
That'd be a survival check.
town?
That would be a survival check, just to kind of in your mind, like picturing what you've seen, thinking about how many people are in this town, how many are injured and
Okay.
wouldn't be able to walk and get into the boat themselves.
Giffel is also computing right now, so...
I thought I rolled a 17,
Yeah, sure.
but then I realized my name is not Giffel.
Giffel puts his head together. You guys are there. You're all talking. It's all good. If I just call for a survival check, if somebody wants to roll, I'm fine with it. If I ask someone specifically, then of course. You don't think there are enough fishing boats in this town that you've seen to get the whole village out of here?
There's not enough, sadly.
And now that you're outside, you can hear in the distance, from the north, the sounds of a drum.
We might
Is
have
that YYZ?
Well, we might not have very, very much time.
The mayor turns to Becklin and says, "Join me at the river gate." Becklin nods. And they walk toward the river gate. What do you guys do?
Giffel is gonna follow, but Giffel is gonna take position on top of the tower for now. Well,
You head up to Thornwall Keep?
Yeah, under ridge, behind a wall. I just
Sure.
wanna keep an eye out.
Yeah, go ahead. What does everybody else do?
Oh yeah, my toolkit.
My turn. My own
I
name.
take a long, hard look at Hawk. Try to read his expression.
Well, it's about to hit the fan. Are we making a run for it, or are we going to fight him off?
Did we see any siege weaponry at the keep?
You know me, I'm not above dying trying.
Blackrose, you did see something on top of the keep. Do you remember what it was labeled?
Ballista?
No.
A gnome something?
Yes.
Gnome thrower.
Gnome thrower. I was going to say gnome launcher, but that didn't sound right.
Close.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
It's
I
actually
just need
called
a few
the
gnomes.
Gnome Flinger.
All right, bring us some gnomes.
And
So all
you
we have to do is load the enemy one by one into that.
Yep. I bring out a big bucket of free birdseed and a sign.
Morgan, Giffel, you head up to the top of Thornwall Keep. Blackrose, Morgan, looks like you join the mayor and Becklin at the river gate.
Yes.
Jarlbrawn, where are you?
Hawk, you would see in Jarlbrawn's eyes a sort of resigned weariness. And you can tell Jarlbrawn doesn't think this is going to go very well.
Is it? Bale?
I don't know if we'll have another option.
I mean, it's a pinch. We could fend him off. We have the catapult. Gnomapult.
The Gnomapult, yes. Yeah.
Hawk, are you
All right.
Are you up at the river gate,
All right.
or are you down with Jarlbrawn? Village
I'm with
Center?
Jarlbrawn.
Okay.
Can I use maybe like a history check to see if this is a defensible position, or if if the logical thing to do is to get out of here?
No, this is like New Orleans before Katrina right here.
Sure,
We're
go ahead
under level.
Go ahead and make a history check. Yeah, I think that'll work. You see, I just had a bad idea.
Yeah, my bad idea is really bad, and it's against Blackrose's inclinations, but we could turn the gnome launcher into the corpse launcher.
You feel like the brass crab is probably the most defendable building in the town because it's on the water, but it is also the most kind of built like a fortress. However, Thornwall Keep is made of stone and has height advantage and would be a more superior place to defend from. But Vogler,
Yeah, if they get to the brass crab, we're done anyway.
yeah. So
What are you protecting?
there
So is
are-
it worth even trying to make a stand at Thornwall Keep, or no?
I can't tell you that with a roll. That's your character's decision to
I
make.
would say that if we
Is
make
it
the stand at Thornwall
is it
Keep-
conceivable?
If we make the stand at Thornwall Keep, we might buy more time for villagers to escape on the boats that they have.
Well, there we go. That I don't hate.
You hear the drumbeat change slightly.
It's a theme to Dirty Dancing.
Hot for teacher?
So you know what? I think that Selfar, the old man, he just found a drum in the woods, and now he's having fun.
Probably.
Oh god, did the
Jarlbrawn-
old man come back?
Jarlbrawn and Hawk, how long do you delay? Because I'm going to move forward if you're standing and not moving.
About 30 seconds.
30 seconds. You're
What's the
there.
call? What's the call, Chief?
I would love to have a boat ready for escape, but I think that we're past that. Let's
Well,
go
let's
and
go
do what we
fight.
can.
Awesome.
All right. So as you arrive, you see a soldier with a drum, singular, soldier with a drum, standing next to what appears to be an officer of some sort, riding a war horse.
Oh, good. It's a parlay.
That's still a lot better than 1,000 soldiers.
That's much better than what I thought. Hey, Mayor. Time to save your city.
Beneath the carvings of leaping fish etched into Vogler's open wooden gate, you see this human female in black and red scale mail who sits astride an armored warhorse. She holds out a rolled parchment and calls out, "Who among you speaks for this village?" Mayor Raven noticeably has cotton mouth. And when she
I
tries
start clapping as she walks forward.
when she tries to say "I do," it's just a whisper. As she walks forward,
Hand on
Does
her shoulder
anyone-
as she goes forward?
does anyone follow her? Say again, Morgan.
Morgan was gonna put like a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Does she look like she needs moral support? I know you said she's cotton mouth.
I won't make you roll an insight check at all.
Oh.
She has blood. She has the blood of her village like on her and on her hands, and she is struggling to walk. She's exhausted, and Becklin notices this and walks along beside her as an escort. Do any of you walk forward, or do you stay back at the river gate?
Yeah.
Seeing Becklin move forward, I would.
Ooh, Blackrose. What do you do?
I'm getting up here and I'm putting a scimitar and a short sword in my hands. I'm pulling out my swords, and my echo is covered in blood, mucus, urine, shit,
Oh.
everything.
Oh.
And because it was helping me nurse. So
Sure.
yeah.
Oh, got it. Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
And we're gonna be coming up behind with our weapons drawn because we don't know what's going on, and this looks a little bit like they're gonna call us out.
You know this is parley though, so
I
weapons
would
drawn.
signal Blackrose to put her weapons away.
Yeah.
She holds her hands behind her back.
Raven steps forward and accepts the scroll, and as she takes it, you can see that it's been tied to hold it closed, and she struggles with the knot. Her hands are shaking,
That's just rude.
and she turns to you, Jarlbrawn, Morgan, and she goes, "Can you read this, please? Can you please? I can't."
Morgan will
Morgan.
reach his hand out.
You have thin fingers.
She hands it to you, Morgan. As you open the letter, would you please read to us what you see?
People of Vogler, by the orders of Belaphion, the voice of Takhisis, you will quarter the soldiers of the invincible Red Dragon army until further notice. Refuse and die. This is the Dragon Queen's will.
Raven
Oh,
catches her breath. Quarter? And she looks at Becklin. And Becklin just shakes her head side to side. What do you do?
Alright, so we need to murder 3/4 of them. The Dragon Queen wills it. I assume that's
I'd like all of you to roll a religion check, please.
You played too
Do we look like a B&B?
Do I look religious?
I mean,
I will use my human resourcefulness to re-roll that religion.
okay.
I did roll a 16.
17.
That's better.
Yeah, Morgan, you and Giffel recognize the name. Takhisis. You also notice a spiral symbol on the messenger's armor as the symbol of Takhisis, the greatest of the evil gods, who is also known as the Dragon Queen. Hawk,
Guys,
this is the
they're-
symbol.
they're-
This is the symbol that the army had on their armor that you were lacking. Sorry, Giffel, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Giffel is like, he was trying to hide, but basically he made too much noise or something. He was seen, so he's just like perking up and he's like looking at his group, the mayor, Declan. Guys, they're the real deal. And he quirks an eyebrow. Like, he's a little bit blanched too. It's like, you don't need insight to know that he's saying like we should accept.
Looks towards Raven.
Is it obvious at this point that Raven isn't going to be taking lead of this conversation?
It's been obvious for 2 minutes.
She's in shock, but did Morgan say something to her, or are you asking a question too?
I was just looking towards her, like after having read it and with the context, just.
She turns and looks at all of you, and she says, "I don't want any bloodshed. We should withdraw. You fall back, or whatever you do. We need to be on the other side of the gate." And she nods. She nods at this officer, who seems quite well armored. And Becklin takes a step in front of the mayor, holds her left hand out, and helps Raven back away from this messenger.
Are we above killing the messenger as a group?
Absolutely not, but it wouldn't do any good. I think we give them what they want.
Giffel, make a perception check, please. You're up on Thornwall Keep still, right?
Yep. Perception. Let's go. God damn it, I cannot roll above a 6.
Okay.
So that's 11.
You pick up on this conversation from where you are. You're able to hear it.
I'll step forward slightly. Nod my head a little bit to the messenger and say, you have the run of the place. We'll clear out so your troops can have room.
She nods and looks at the drummer, who starts playing Wipeout. This episode is not brought to you by the song Wipeout. Thank you. Thank you, Nick.
All you musicians.
The drums continue, and the rider on their horse seems pleased.
Give us half an hour.
They nod and seem to head a bit north along the road.
Turn back to the mayor. And at this point, I'll just say, they don't know how many ships or fishing supplies you have. Would your people be able to subsist in a different place? Perhaps not the forest, but further along the coast. For a time.
Do you mean evacuate?
More of an abandoning, but yes.
Becklin
They shouldn't
turns.
expect to have anything back here when they come back.
Becklin,
The army should move on after they're bored.
Becklin nods in agreement with you and nearly cuts you off. War is unstoppable, and an army that is unstoppable. I fear that this camp that you encountered might be part of a greater force. I have lived here for decades. These people are not soldiers. They would need weeks of training, and many, many professional soldiers to stand a chance. I think that you should evacuate. However, I will protect this town. If I can hold them back and delay the advance of the army to give you time, then I will.
That's a great idea.
I was thinking that perhaps getting out quickly and not giving them reason to pursue might be a wiser course. Just leave the town for them. The people are your town.
We've already determined we don't have enough boats for anyone, so...
No, they
Are
can
you
walk.
suggesting we left the wounded behind?
The wounded we have enough boats for.
Beckland says,
If we
I know you don't want any bloodshed, Mayor, but if it was only those two, we could delay them a bit longer as well. And she looks at your group. Do you think that we could silence them?
I think if we silence the drummer, it would all go sideways very quickly.
Do any of you play the drum?
A good question.
Good question.
I think we're bardless. Not
It's
to be
a
confused
weird
with
condition.
braless.
Thank you.
Fortunately,
You're
no.
welcome.
Starts
We
to
have Hawk.
beatbox.
We have Hawk in the group, so...
Darrett strikes me as the type that would play an instrument.
I'm
Not
game for
that I
anything
know
Giffel
of.
is gonna say.
But maybe.
+2 to... That's a 12 in beatboxing.
Bad
Vidara,
beatboxing.
maybe.
Well, I mean, we don't need to murder them if we're bailing. Right?
Correct.
That seems silly.
Don't give them a reason to follow. It's easier
Yep.
to just sit here, let them do that.
Yep, we're gonna give up. Let's give up properly.
Get the wounded onto the ships. We can take them to Kalaman. That's just across. What is it? A bay? A river?
Perhaps their immediate families and the rest can go up the coast.
You know, if we can go around the big army, couldn't they all go to Cudgel's camp?
As you say
It's
the
a
name,
camp.
as you say the name Cudgel, I would like for everybody to roll a d100, please.
Sorry, guys.
I
No,
think
it's
you
good.
summoned the demon. No, that's good.
You killed Cudgel!
52. I promise.
my God.
I did.
9 cudgels all come over.
No, just one Cudgel. Riding a war horse
We're
of
good.
her
Cudgel
own.
got it, you guys.
Oh, it's like I summoned her. I got magical powers.
He's the
Approaches
devil.
from the north. And as she does, she is at a full-on run with this horse.
Oh,
you say
she's
a
pulling
run
a
with this horse?
Jarlbrawn.
Yes, she is. And this
Cudgel Jenkins!
and this dragon and this dragon army messenger or officer of sorts draws their sword and turns and begins riding towards them, charging forward with her sword drawn. What do you do?
Uh-oh.
Giffel is gonna fire an arrow to help his friend Cudgel.
Roll
He's not
initiative,
with
please.
us.
Roll initiative, please.
We don't know her!
We don't know her. Who is this crazy woman?
Everybody was, well, everybody in the group
Actually,
was
guys,
talking about helping.
don't roll initiative because that's the end
You're
of
gonna
our
call
session.
it?
That's the end
That's
of our
the end of our
session. We're actually done for time, guys. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. What a
Well,
what a
we
great
talked
moment
about
to what a great moment to end it on. That's so cool. I love this. So yeah, guys.
Back in
Thanks
next week,
for-
same cudgel time, same cudgel channel.
No game next week.
No game next week. Yeah.
Oh,
2
2
weeks.
weeks.
Yeah. So we're
Next
gonna.
week will be a rerun, but after that, same
I-
cudgel time.
I almost got confused, guys. I thought that we were not playing this week. That's why I was late. Then I received Augrey's message.
I'm gonna end our game here. Thanks for playing. We'll see you soon. Later.